Alrighty. Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofix one, AJ. Happy Sunday, September 28th, 2025. It's week 4 of the NFL, and we have action already started as the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing the Minnesota Vikings over in Dublin, Ireland. Steelers currently up 14-6. Vikings having issues getting anything really going on offense. The Steelers defense looking like they actually might be back, which is absolutely crazy. But here's the plan for today. I'm going to go over my picks. If you got any fantasy football questions, please drop them in the chat, and I'd be more than happy to answer those. But before I go any further, do just want to take a moment, shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube, X, TikTok. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. But I do want to go ahead and get started and get into this. As I mentioned, Vikings and the Steelers currently going on over in Dublin. Steelers currently up 14-6 on the Vikings. And I'll be honest, took the Vikings minus that 2.5. And it looks like TJ Watt just got a turnover as well. And so, hey, the Steelers are looking good. Steelers are looking good. Took a couple of weeks to figure it out, but that defense is starting to look solid again. Yep, and there is a beautiful TJ Watt interception. And he punts it into the crowd. What a guy. Carson Wentz starting to look like the Carson Wentz of old. But Vikings and the Steelers currently going on. First fantasy football question of the day. Start Pearsall or Kamara at the flex? Ooh. Well, so here's the thing. You got the Saints. You know what I mean? You got the Saints going up against the Bills. Bills 14.5-point favorites here. The book doesn't have a lot of faith in them, and I believe the public doesn't have a lot of faith in them either. Nope, 69% of the bets, very nice, and 84% of the money coming in on the Bills there. And I'm not going to lie, I do think that I think that Kamara is such a talented running back, and the Saints are going to look to use him a lot. That's no question about it. But Ricky Pearsall for the 49ers is becoming an indisposable asset. It's not real. Amani, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. But, he's indisposable for the 49ers. And I think they're really going to need to use him against the Jaguars defense that has looked a lot better this year than in recent years. So, yeah, bro, I'd be looking at Ricky Pearsall to be going there. I mean, I don't hate Kamara, but and Kamara's going to get a lot of looks, but it's not my thing. It's not my thing. All right, what are we doing? Trade Quentin Johnson for AJ Brown and Tootin. Who the fuck is Tootin? Am I that much under a fucking rock? But yeah, no, I like that trade. I think it's good. Just like B. Smith said, I think. Just like B. Smith said, I think that's a very good one. Godwin or Juwan Jennings? Ooh, Godwin looks good. I'm not going to lie. Godwin looks good. And not only expected to play today, I know there was some issues that he might not be, but Chris Godwin, he's going to be in against the Philadelphia Eagles, And talk about a game that is not going to get enough respect. You know what I mean? Talk about a game that's not going to get enough respect. I mean, let's be very real about something. The Buccaneers are a dangerous team. They're a dangerous team. And the Eagles have been loving to play close games, and I think they're going to continue to play close games. And the Buccaneers like to win those close games. I'm taking the Buccaneers plus the 3.5. And yeah, I do think Chris Godwin has himself an absolute day. And so, yeah, I would start Godwin over Juwan Jennings. I think Juwan Jennings, again, going to get a lot of looks, but Chris Godwin actually going to put up those numbers, especially with Mike Evans being out. And so I would look at that one. And then Emike Egbuka, I mean, I'm starting him in all of my leagues that I'm in. I love what he's been doing and how he has started off as a rookie. So looking forward to that. All right, Shot Breezy. Start Kyren or Scadaboo? Ooh, that's a hard one. And I mean, both of them going up against good defenses. I mean, Scadaboo against that Chargers strong defensive lines, good secondary. Excuse me. The one thing I do love about Cam Skattebo is that he has a very run with head first mentality. And that is something I love out of a running back, and you should love out of a running back as well. But I'm really, that's a hard one. I think Skattebo is going to get a lot more looks. Jackson Dart's first game in, rookie quarterbacks, what do they love? They love their tight ends. They love their running backs. And I think Cam Skattebo is going to be getting a lot of looks, not only in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And listen, this Colts-Rams game, I'm almost at a toss-up. I really am. I'm probably going to stay off this game in general. I mean, I think Kyren Williams is going to have a good game, but that Colts defense isn't anything to mess around with. That offense is legit. This is a very, very good team as the 49ers, as the Steelers are in the red zone, second down in the third quarter. Devontae Adams worth trading for. Tom, it definitely depends on what your roster is looking like, bro. It's one of those things. If you need him, you got to go get him. If you don't need him, you don't got to go get him. But I like Devontae Adams. I have him in a couple of leagues. I'm liking him a lot. C. Woogie, Laporta or Henry? I assume you're talking about Hunter Henry from the Patriots. And, hey, listen, the Panthers coming off of a great performance last week. Do we expect a little bit of a downgrade? More than likely. That's why the book has it at 5.5. Where's the public at on this one? Yeah, 78% of the bets, 71% of the money coming in on the Panthers. Getting some reverse line movement there. Opened up at 3.5, going to 5.5 with that. So, yeah, I'm expecting probably a big game out of Hunter Henry. But Laporta, I mean, I would definitely probably go Hunter Henry in this one. I think Sam Laporta is going to be bogged down by that Browns defense. And, no one wants to talk about, the good parts of this Browns team, but I have no problem with it. They have a very solid defense, and that is probably a top 10 defense in this league. If Joe Flacco can just put it together a little bit, this is going to be a very dangerous Browns team. And so I would definitely probably start Henry over Laporta. Danny Dimes or Purdy, I mean, bro, it really just depends on what do you think of that Jaguars defense. What do you think of that Jaguars defense? I kind of like that Jaguars defense. I think Purdy might have a difficult time with all the injuries. With that being said, Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones going up against this Rams team, and no one wants to talk about how legit this Rams squad is. And they're very legit, and I think they're going to continue to be very legit. That defense is absolutely moving. I mean, Aaron Donald, I know that was the big talking point last year about this team being down, but they seem to have copy, paste, and filled, and I'm loving what this Rams team is doing. I'd probably start Indiana Jones. I love the efficiency of this Colts offense, and even against difficult defenses has been able to continue to keep it going. So I like Indiana Jones in this one. Sosa in the chat, Dobbs or Henderson? Ooh, I'm probably going to lean on Dobbs here. Listen, the Cowboys lost a lot more with that defense when Micah Parsons left than just an edge rusher. Okay, they lost a lot of they lost a lot of threat in that defense. You know what I mean? When I think about this Cowboys defense, who do I want to make sure we have eyes on? Who do I want? There's no one really that sticks out. Micah Parsons was that guy for the Cowboys. And I think the Packers are going to exercise some demons after that shit game they had last week. Last minute second field goal for the Browns. Man. I think the Packers really go after this one on Sunday Night Football. I'm taking Green Bay minus that 6.5. I'm probably going to take them minus 2 touchdowns, if we're going to be honest, 13.5. Absolutely love what they're doing. Caleb or Bo? Neither, bro. Neither. I mean, if you have to, I'd probably go Caleb Williams against that Raiders defense and hope that Caleb Williams didn't lose any magic he had last week. But I'm not a big believer that what the Bears did last weekend is the norm. I'm not there. McMillan, Pearsall, Chase Brown. Ooh. Start one? If I'm starting one, I'm starting probably starting McMillan. Hoping Bryce Young has another great week. McMillan going to be, I know he's, dealing with a little bit of an injury. From everything he said and from what's come out with the team, it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. And so I'd be rolling with T-Mac this week. Chase Brown or Trayvon Henderson today. Jaylen Warren is out. Yeah, I know. Took him out before game. There you go, bud. Way to be proactive. Trayvon Henderson is solid. I want to see a lot more out of him, though. I'd probably go Chase Brown. I think he's going to get definitely a lot of touches today. Or, tomorrow. And especially against a Broncos defense that has been less than fun to watch. Cam and Judkins, bro. I have Cam and Judkins. Should I start Tet? First of all, chat, let's go ahead and get this straight again. It's T-Mac. All right? I don't like this whole Tet discourse that we're going on. It's T-Mac, but yeah, I would start T-Mac over Judkins if you have to. Start Godwin or Chase Brown. I would start Godwin. Godwin's going to get a lot of looks against this Eagles defense. I'm not sold on this Eagles defense whatsoever from what they were last year, and I think that the Buccaneers are really going to have themselves a day today. So I'm all over the Bucs. I'm all over any player for the Bucs. Got Mbuka starting in multiple leagues, and really like what we're looking at. All right, Stafford or Fields. Start Matthew Stafford. I don't know why we're even talking about starting Justin Fields. I don't care who the Jets are playing. Who they're playing. They're playing the Dolphins. I don't care. The Jets are a losing organization. The Dolphins are just as bad, but the Dolphins have more talent. Justin Fields is going to be miserable tomorrow. I would start Stafford. McMillan or Olave? I mean, Olave is going to get a lot of looks. I don't think that Saints defense is going to get a lot of done against this Bills defense. I think this Bills defense is going to look like a superstar defense. And, the Saints last week getting, belt to ass, I think that's the Saints team that we need to get used to. And so, yeah, I'd sit Olave this week. Devontae or AJ? I would start Devontae. I mean, excuse me. I think the Colts, that's going to be their third worry on off. When they're playing defense, they're going to want to make sure Puka Nacua is covered. They're going to want to make sure Kyren Williams is covered. They're not really going to be worried about Devontae, and that's when he's dangerous. So yeah, I like Devontae Adams a lot this week. Drake May versus the Panthers or Bo Nix versus the Bengals. I would take Drake May. This Bengals defense isn't good, but it might. Bo Picks might make them look like superstars tomorrow. May or Fields, I would start May over Fields. Waddle, Tet, or Coleman. I think Keon Coleman's going to have a good day. The issue with the Bills and their wide receivers is that Josh Allen has so many options, and so he can just spread it around like he has been. I think we're going to continue to see a lot more of that. Probably start T-Mac. McMillan, Pearsall, Chase Brown. I'd probably start Pearsall and just pray that the Jaguars' defense isn't as good as we think it is. Because he's about to get all the looks. What are we looking at here? Fields or Baker? Oh, give me Baker. Bruh, give me Baker Mayfield. Even if he doesn't have a great game, you just need those last 2 minutes of the game, and he's going to put up a lot of points for you. So I'd be rolling with Baker Mayfield. I love the Bucs today. Love the Bucs. Olave or Sutton? Riakos, I would start neither. But if you have to, I'd probably start Olave over Sutton. Sutton's got to deal with Bo Picks, and Bo Picks has been real lately. Ooh, okay. Egbuka or Godwin? Goofball 69. That is a great question. I would personally start Egbuka. And the only reason I'm saying Egbuka is because Mike Evans is out. Chris Godwin's going to get double. Or no, Mike Evans is back this week, isn't he? Let me double check myself before I wreck myself. Yeah, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. No, he is still inactive. Okay, I was right. So Chris Godwin's going to get that double team. I would probably start Egbuka. I think Egbuka is going to get those looks when they're not able to. Start 2, Ladd, AJ Brown, Pickens. I'd probably start Ladd and Pickens. I think Ladd is still going to get a lot of looks. I think Pickens is going to get the majority of the looks. And the Cowboys are going to want him to pick up that slack CeeDee Lamb had. I wouldn't start AJ Brown. Stafford or Dak? I'd start Stafford. Listen, I know the Packers lost last week. That defense is still really good. And I think Dak Prescott's going to have some issues, especially with CeeDee Lamb being out and Pickens being his only target. Again, Pickens is going to get a lot of targets, going to get a lot of yards. However, doesn't mean it's going to be good. Scat or Genty, brother, start Scat. Start Scatable. Scataboy. Bretton Strange or Njoku? Dude, I'm feeling some Strange today. I'm feeling some Strange. I like what he's been performing. I like how he's been performing, and I like his I like his upside today. Kamara or Judkins this week? I mean, I'd probably go Judkins. I think Kamara is going to have a bigger issue with that Bills defense than Judkins is with that Lions defense. Once you get past that Lions defensive line, you're dealing with Swiss cheese. And so if he can get past that initial push, he's going to have himself a day. So I'll go Judkins. Chase or Odunze? Neither. I'm so down on the Bengals right now. It's hard for me to endorse anyone on that team. But yeah, I'd probably go Chase over Odunze. I think last week what happened with the Bears was an anomaly. Just an absolute anomaly. Caleb Williams or Herbert? Yeah, give me Herbert. Give me Herbert. Herbert's been cooking. He's going to continue to cook. I think the Chargers are going to continue to go with a pass-first option. Godwin or Chase Brown, especially if you're talking flex, I'd get Godwin in there. Ted or BTJ, excuse me. I'd start Ted. I have not liked what I've seen out of BTJ, and I think Ted's going to get a lot. T-Mac is going to get a lot more looks. Chuba or Quinshawn? Ooh, I'd probably go with Judkins. Probably go Judkins. Baker or Goff, and why? I would go with Baker. I mean, again, say what you want to about the Browns. That Browns defense is very solid. Matt Strom, thank you for the gift, brother. Appreciate you. But I think Baker is a hell of a lot more solid, and that Eagles secondary is just not as good as everyone thought it was going to be this year, and isn't living up to what it was last year. And so I'm looking for Baker to have a big game, looking for Egbuka, Godwin, all those boys to have a big game. Bucky, going to be a day. Do I start Williams, Mahomes, or Jones? Ooh. I would start Daniel Jones. I do think the Chiefs win today. I don't think it's going to be pretty, and I think Patrick Mahomes is going to have a lot of running yards, but not a lot else to speak of. I think Daniel Jones, just from a fantasy perspective, is going to have a better day. J.K. Dobbins or Ashton Genty? I haven't liked how the Raiders have been using Genty, so I'd be going with Dobbins. Mayor Goff, I would go with Goff. Dobbs or Myers? I'd be going with Romeo Doubs. Again, I think the Packers are going to have a huge day and just going to be floating it around everywhere. Starting to sit Hampton or Genty. Not liking production out of either of those rookies. Liking it a little bit more out of Hampton, so I'd go with Hampton. Kraft, ETN, or Godwin at the flex, bruh. Give me Kraft. Kraft's been eating this season. I think he's going to continue to eat. DJ Dobkins, thank you for the follow, brother. Appreciate you. What are we doing here? Brian Clark, thank you for the follow, brother. Should I start Worthy or Golden? Ooh. I'd be leaning on Golden. I mean, I think Worthy is going to get a lot of looks. I do think the Chiefs have a very solid chance today against a weak secondary with the Ravens. I don't hate Worthy. I don't hate Worthy. Kraft, Amon-Ra, Worthy, or Laporta for one flex spot. I think Kraft has been more consistent, so I'd go Tucker Kraft there. Need to Tet, Pickens, BTJ, Smith, DJ Moore. All right, no DJ Moore. Let's go T-Mac and Pickens. Again, I think Pickens gets a hell of a lot of looks today with CeeDee Lamb being out. Stafford, Fields, give me Stafford. I know the Dolphins are ass. Okay, I understand the Dolphins are ass. That does not mean we need to be talking about starting Justin Fields. Mason, thank you for the gifts, brother. Appreciate you, dog. What else are we looking at? Quentin Johnson, Zay Flowers, or Golden. Hey, Quentin Johnson seems to have figured out how to catch a football, and so I'd be riding those hot hands while you can. Bryson Wickland, thank you for the follow, brother. Chuba or Adams in the flex? Ooh, I like Adams. I'm starting Adams in a couple of the leagues I'm in. I do think he's going to be a great look for Stafford today. I think he's going to get a lot of looks. Mike, thank you for the follow. And Schmogs, thank you for the follow. Appreciate the both of you. Schmogs, Baker or Purdy? Also have Ricky in the flex. Ooh, I'd go Baker. Baker's been putting up those numbers. Baker's been looking good, and I think he's going to continue to look good. Again, I do not have faith in that Eagles secondary, so really like what I think we're going to get out of Baker today. Holy shit, 6,000 followers. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much. Shout out to Reeser79. Thank you for the follow, brother. Holy crap. Chat's blowing up. Y'all are awesome. What else are we looking at today? Breece or Genty? I'd probably go Breece Hall, if we're going to be honest. I think the Jets are going to be looking to run the ball a lot, get some RPOs going with Fields. And again, I just don't like the usage Genty has been getting with the Raiders at all, or how they're talking about him. All right, Debo or McMillan? I'd go Debo Samuels. I think Marcus Mariota is going to make sure that the ball gets to him, and he's going to be an essential part of that offense today, especially with Terry McLaurin being out. And so I'm expecting Debo to have a huge game. Huge game. All right, numbers are something I can't read. Thank you for the follow, and thank you for the follow. Appreciate y'all. What are we looking at? Trey Tucker or Montgomery? I would probably go Trey Tucker. I like that matchup today a lot. Jacoby Myers, Chris Olave. Give me Jacoby Myers over Chris Olave. Raiders, they haven't been bad. They haven't been good. They've been the Raiders. And I think that, they're a team that's in the middle of a rebuild. I don't imagine them having a bad game against the Bears. BTJ, Godwin, Devontae Smith. Give me Godwin. All day, every day, give me Chris Godwin. Pearsall or McMillan? I'd probably go T-Mac. I think I'm of the belief that the Panthers have turned that corner. I think that, not only T-Mac, but, I'm talking about Bryce Young. I think they've turned the corner. So I like what they're doing. I think that T-Mac's going to have a big game. Pick 2, BTJ, T-Mac, Chase Brown, Judkins, Scat. Give me Scat and give me T-Mac. Or actually Judkins. I like Judkins a lot. Sal, thank you for the follow, brother. Appreciate you. Worthy or Judkins at flex? I'd probably go Judkins. I think Judkins going to get a lot of carries today. BTJ, I told you. Give me Scat. Give me Judkins. Diggs or Waddle? That's a good one. I'd probably go with Waddle. Waddle's been getting a great look with the Dolphins. Whether he can continue to catch the ball or not is still up for debate, but I go Waddle. Worthy, Waddle, or Juwan? Ooh. I think I'm looking at Juwan Jennings. I really do. Drake London or T-Mac? Dude, why are we still talking? Dude. All right. PSA for everybody listening right now. The Falcons are ass. Okay? The Falcons are ass. So, yeah, no, we're not starting Drake London ever. Kamara or Henderson? Hey, Mo, I don't like either options, but I'd probably go with Henderson. I think Kamara's going to get stuffed at that line. Advate, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. FI, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you as well. All right. Flex, Javonte, Chuba, or Golden? I'd probably flex Golden. I have no faith, absolutely zero faith in that Cowboys defense. Exotic, thank you for the follow. Pick one running back, Pacheco, Monte, or Stevenson. I'd probably go with Pacheco here. I do think that the Chiefs need to use Pacheco more, and I think they're going to use him more. So I'd go with Pacheco here. Poppy, Bald, Arama, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you, brother. All right, Ridley, JMO, or Debo? I'd start Debo. I still don't trust that Calvin Ridley has learned how to catch football. I really don't. Apple user, thank you for the follow. Is Darren Bland playing? Ooh, that's a great question. I've not seen an injury status on him. Let me see what I can find out. Because that is a great question. Darren Bland expected to play Sunday night versus the Packers after missing the last 2 games with a foot injury. And he was a full participant in practice this week. So, yes, I do think he is going to play, and I do think he might be getting a little bit more looks than George Pickens. So keep an eye out on that. All right, what else are we looking at? Javonte Williams versus Green Bay, or David Montgomery versus the Browns. Also, is Tay playing? Which Tay are you talking about? And I would go Javonte Williams with Green Bay over David Montgomery with the Browns. Again, I really like this Browns defense. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game than people are expecting with the Lions. So I'd look at that. Devontae Adams, is he playing? I haven't heard that he isn't playing. Expected to play versus the Colts is Devontae. So do with that information what you will. I would still play him. Woody Marks or Ramondre Stevenson? I'd probably go Ramondre. And you're just betting more on the fact that the Panthers aren't actually legit, which I get. And I think that's a good bet. Purdy or Baker? I would go with Baker over Purdy. Love or Baker? I'd go with Love over Baker. I think the Cowboys belt to ass. The definition of belt to ass. You look it up in a dictionary, and it's just Packers Cowboys tonight. Herbert or Mahomes? I'm trusting Herbert a little bit more than Mahomes. Yeah, Mahomes is going to go out and get you those rushing yards, but I like Herbert overall. Trey Tucker or Debo? I'm starting Debo all day. Sutton or Genty? I don't like either options, but I would go with Sutton, Mike. Sutton, Pittman, ETN in the flex. I'd go Pittman. Henderson or Pollard? Ooh. I'll go with Henderson. Like that matchup a little bit more. Tet or Debo? I'd go with Debo over T-Mac. Debo's going to be that only option. Really, not the only option, but the number one option with Scary Terry being out. And I think you play into that. Go ahead and get Debo going. Nova, thank you for the follow. Godwin or Tucker? I mean, that's a tough one. Probably go with Tucker. Again, I like that matchup just a little bit more. Texas Trucker, thank you for the follow. Scattaboo or Dobbins? I'm going Scattaboo. User, Pollard or Trey? I go Trey Henderson. Woo. T-Mac or Henderson? I go Henderson over T-Mac. Igbuka, London or Sutton? Why are we even having this conversation? Get Igbuka in that lineup. Pittman or T-Mac? Give me Pittman, Evan. I like Evan. I like Pittman a lot today. MX, the sniper. Thank you for the follow, brother. Henderson or Genty? I'm liking Henderson again. I just hate the usage that Genty has been getting and how they've been using him with the Raiders. I don't think it's going to continue well for long. Evan, thank you for the follow, brother. Njoku or Goddard? I would probably go with Dallas Goddard. I mean, I like Njoku overall, but I think Goddard's going to have a better game, and I think he's going to get used a lot more. Dak or Purdy? Start Purdy. Let's not have that conversation. Start Purdy. Would I start Pollard or Ferguson at flex? Already have Bowers at tight end. I'd probably be looking at Ferguson. He's going to get a hell of a lot of looks today. He's going to be busy boy today. Hubbard or Judkins? I'd go Judkins. I like that matchup a lot for Judkins. I like that matchup a lot for Judkins. I like the Browns a lot today. 9.5 it's down to. I got it at 10.5. I liked it at 10.5. James, anytime, bro. Good luck today. Jordan D. Pollard or Golden? I'd probably be leaning on Golden. Baker or Love? Give me Jordan Love against a very shitty Dallas defense. Bench one, Tet, Hill, Igbuka, or Henderson? I'd probably bench Henderson. I think Hill, and that might be not popular, but I think Tyreek Hill's upside tomorrow is very high. Lilo. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. J.K. Dobbins or Tet at the flex? I'd go with T-Mac. And again, chat, please. It's T-Mac. It's not Tet. It's T-Mac, okay? Should I keep Adams on? I'm keeping Adams on. I always keep that Adams on me. But no, I like Adams a lot today. I think he's going to be very key for the Rams. Henderson and Romeo Doubs at the flex. Ooh, I like that. I like Romeo a lot. I like Romeo. I think Jordan Love's going to be able to spread it out a lot today. Evan, thank you for the follow, brother. Love or Knicks? Why are we even having a conversation, Steezer? Give me Jordan Love over Bo Picks any day of the week. Would I start Worthy this week? Yeah. I mean, I'm starting Worthy in a couple of different leagues. I think he's the only option for Patrick Mahomes. He's going to get double covered. He's going to have some issues, but catch him on a couple of fade routes, and it's going to be a good day. Going to be a good day. Steezer, thank you for the follow, brother. Shakir Hollywood Brown. I've never started Hollywood Brown in a fantasy league, and I will never start Hollywood Brown in a fantasy league. Give me Khalil Shakir. Knicks or Fields. If you're in that position where you're starting Knicks or Fields, I really hope that the buy-in wasn't that much money. I go Fields. I hate that, but I go Fields. Tiny G20, thank you for the follow, brother. Start Fields or Danny Dimes. Give me Indiana Jones all day. Absolutely love what he's been playing, how he's been playing, and I think it does continue. The Colts Rams sneakily will be one of the better games today in that late slate. I love it. It's going to be a fun one. Trade Chase Bound for Olave. Did I win? I don't think there's any winning when you're trading those two players. Golden or Pickens? I'd go Golden. Die Flamingo. Thank you for the follow, brother. Kyron or JK? I would go with Kyron Williams. Looking for Kyron to have a big day today. I like him a lot. Kyron Williams or Judd Dobbins? Give me Kyron. Oh, we already talked about that. My bad. Breece Hall or Kamara? I like Breece Hall a lot this week. I think Kamara is... I think that Bills defense is going to stuff Kamara, and he's going to get a lot of touches, but it's going to be a lot of meaningless touches. So I'd go with anyone but Kamara. Mayfield or May. Hunter, I'm glad you brought that up. Mayfield all day long. And then if you ever second guess yourself about starting Baker Mayfield, just remember he is Baker Mayfield. And I do want to go ahead and put him in that conversation of elite quarterbacks. There is no doubt in my mind that Baker Mayfield is a top 5 quarterback in this league. Signed, stamped, delivered. Simple as that. Baker is that dog. And, we like to throw that out a lot. Like, oh, this guy's got that dog in him and everything. Like, no. You look up dog, D-A-W-G in the dictionary, and it's a picture of Baker Mayfield. X-ray, dog. So, yeah, Hunter, I'm a little excited about Baker Mayfield. Do you start DeAndre Swift? No. Keon Coleman or Trayvon Henderson at the flex? My thing with Bill, whenever you start a Bills player, Josh Allen is so good at spreading that ball around and reading defenses. I don't know if you want to go that route, but I do like Keon Coleman today. I like Trayvon Henderson today. I'm taking both of them for a touchdown, so deal with that information what you will. Allen, Tet, or Ladd? I'd probably go Ladd McConkey on that one. Jennings or Dobbs? Give me Dobbs. I like that Dobbs matchup a lot more against that Cowboys defense. Olave or Sutton? Give me Olave. He'll break one off. Jason, thank you for the follow, brother. BTJ, Sutton, or Chuba? Chuba. Give me Chuba. Flex, DeAndre Swift, Tyreek Hill. Give me Tyreek Hill. I like the usage he's been getting. I think it's going to continue. Pollard or Dobbins? Oh, Jeremy, why are you doing this to me, brother? Give me Dobbins. Kelsey or Kraft? Sam, I'm so happy you brought this up, brother. Because, as a newly married man, you get married to a woman, you get engaged and everything. They're supposed to uplift you. And I will admit that, and Jeremy, thank you for the follow. I will admit, when I got engaged and all of that, she does uplift me and everything. And for some reason, Travis Kelce got engaged, and he's just been shite. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't know if I would start Travis Kelce. I'm not starting Travis Kelce. I'm starting Tucker Kraft over Travis Kelce, if that helps you. That's where I'm at. And my father-in-law, he's in a fantasy league, and he texted me, and he's like, listen, this is where I'm at. Do I start Kelce or Kraft? And I was like, yeah, no, start Kraft. Why are we even talking about Kelce? Should I start Juwan Johnson or Dallas? I would start Goddard. Real good. Mayfield or Love this week? Jeremy, you can go ahead and flip a coin, brother, and you'll be in good space. I think I would go with Love. I think Love's going to have a more easy day against that Cowboys defense than Mayfield's going to have. But I like both of them. I think Love's just going to have a better day. Debo or Pearsall? I love Debo today. I love Debo Samuels today. Jeremy, I agree with myself as well. Should I start St. Brown playing 2K at 4 a.m.? Jamin with that real info. Bro was playing 2K at 4 a.m.? Now, listen, I'm an early riser. You know what I mean? I'm an early riser. Like, I was up till 2 a.m. last night, still up at 6. And that's just how I roll. So, like, I kind of get it if that's how he is. But, I mean, I would be looking away from that. Just as someone who's had Kyler Murray as his quarterback for the last however many years. Everyone's saying Pearsall. Pearsall's going to get a lot of looks because who else on the 49ers is going to get a lot of looks? I don't know. I think that Jaguars defense is better than everyone's expected and everyone thinks. Knicks or Mayfield? Dude, Mayfield. What are we even talking about? Henderson or Chubb? I'd go with Henderson. Start for Jacoby Myers, A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, Zay Flowers, George Pickens, Javonte. Start Jacoby. Start Tyreek. Start Zay. Start Pickens. Williams or Waddle? I'd go with Waddle tomorrow. Again, that Browns defense is just better than anyone wants to admit. Emike, Pearsall, or give me Emike. Mason, all day, Emike. Aldo, Pittman, or Judkins at flex? I like Judkins. I like Judkins. I like both of them. I'm not going to lie. You're in a tough spot there, but I like Judkins a lot today. Emike, Pearsall, or Adunze? Give me Emike, Egbuka. He's been an absolute dog. What's up, babe? Huh? Oh, you guys are going? Oh, okay. All right, guys. I'm out. See you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you all for following. Hit that like button. Y'all are the best. I'm the Brofict One AJ. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Good luck. God bless. See you guys next time on Degenerate Takes.